Hey everyone, this is Jason, CNCDXFfiles.com, here with another short tutorial on how to create a beginner DXF file for your CNC cutting system. So the first thing that we're going to do with this video or this exercise, we're going to create a new document. So File, drop-down menu, New. We'll just give the name just something generic here. Test. And then we'll set the width at 222 and the height to 222 inches. That's the largest the artboard can be in CS6, Adobe Illustrator CS6. So I'm going to hit OK. So that's going to create a new document. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the hand tool and just kind of reposition it, zoom in a little bit more, reposition it to the top left-hand corner. And I'm going to go File, drop-down menu, and we're going to Place. And so we're going to, when we're doing this, we're going to place a photograph or an image into this document. So beginner car is in the conversion practices video and image folder. So beginner car, we'll hit place, and there's the car. I'm going to zoom in here, get a better view of it. So it looks like it's very small. The image is actually very small, and we can tell how large the image is from the transform tool. If you don't have it opened up in Adobe Illustrator, what you can do is you can go from the window drop-down menu, go to the very bottom here, and we can go to transform, and that's going to bring this dialog box up. And so it's telling us it's 2 inches wide by maybe an inch and an eighth or something like that. They're wide or high. And so what we can do from this point is, since it is selected, if it's not selected, we can click on it with the selection tool here. Click the selection tool and click on it, or we can click the selection tool and just draw a bounding box around it. That's going to highlight it and let you know it's been selected. And so once it's selected, we can go over here and we can actually change the width. And the width we want is, let's just say it's going to be 8 inches. And if you hit enter and you look over here, when you hit 8 and enter, it's actually going to change the height because it's constraining the width and height. If we undo that and we click this off of here, break that little chain link, we type in 8 inches, it's actually just going to stretch it out 8 inches. It's not going to constrain the height and width. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that's checked, the link is intact, and then we'll change the height or the width. We'll put the width at 8 inches, hit enter, and that's going to constrain it and size it proportionately. So now that we've got it sized, what we're going to do is we're going to select it again using the selection tool. Select it. We're going to go up here to opacity, click the little drop down, change the opacity about 70, 60% until it's lightened up considerably, and then we're going to go object, and we're going to lock that into place. So once we hit the selection, now if we use the selection tool and try to click on it, which I'm doing right now, it's not going to select it. Even if we do the bounding box around it, it's not going to select it. So that's what you want to do when you bring an image into Adobe Illustrator when you're creating the conversion. I'm going to slide this over, just click on it and slide it over. And from there, what we're going to do is we're going to take out the fill color, the registration color. We're going to take all that out. Hold down on that pen tool, select the pen tool, find a good place to start right there, and we'll move that down, the next node down, hold in the Alt key, and you can move the handlebar up, kind of position the next line. So the next line is going to go this direction, so we're going to move that handlebar into that direction. Now when you place the next node, we can pull it into place, and we're just going to try to pull it into place as accurately as possible. This is just a quick drawing. You can hold in the Alt key here, find the next node point, something similar to that. Hold in Alt, move that handlebar in the next direction that you're going, right to here. Click and drag, pull that handlebar where it needs to be. Alt, the angle's kind of going back this way, so we can click in there. Click and drag, hold in the Alt, move the handlebar in the direction it needs to go next. Click, and then we're going to click again and drag, hold in the Alt key, move that handlebar in the direction that's needing to go next. Pull it into position, hold in the Alt key, drag that handlebar into the the direction it's going to go next. Click, click again, click and drag, Alt key, reposition the handlebar. And that's what you're going to do to create your main silhouette around any of the objects that you bring into Adobe Illustrator, is the click and drag using the Alt key to kind of constrain those handlebars, and you'll get used to it after a while. It's going to take some practice, some pretty good practice, but over time of doing these little lessons and these practice lessons here, you'll get pretty good at it. So what we have now is we have a pretty good shape of the car. You can see some of the lines aren't laying right on top of the existing artwork. You can change it and manipulate it. What I would do with that is I would use the direct selection tool and just highlight the artwork, get it selected, and then switch to the direct select tool here, and then click and drag, and that will allow you to manipulate each one of these individual nodes. Click, drag it into place. We can edit the handlebars, just kind of moving them where we want to, get a little more accurate. Do the same over here. Click on that. We can click on the end of the handlebar and move it into place. And so once you've gotten the artwork fairly close, what you can do is, for the sake of viewing purposes, we'll just add some fill color. And so that's what the car looks like. I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to go edit, copy, edit, paste, and then I'm going to remove all the fill color out of here. None. Change that to the registration black. I think you can use the regular black color too, but I always stick with the registration black. It's a more contrasting black. And then we're going to change the stroke weight to 0.001. We're going to hit enter. And then from there, we're actually able to export this as a DXF file. So we're going to File, Export, and we're going to go Beginner, Car, and Car. And we're going to hit Save. Well, actually, let's make sure we have it selected, AutoCAD Interchange File.dxf. Hit Save. Save one more time. Make sure you got the right AutoCAD version 2000 here. The scale is 1 inches to 1 units. You can change it to millimeters if you want, but I just stick with inches. And then the color and file format, we're going to go 8 colors instead of 16 or 256. 8. And then I like to create a JPEG raster file format for it. And then the options are going to be maximize editability and export selected artwork only. You want to make sure the export selected artwork only is selected. That way, only the artwork that is selected is actually going to get exported. So we'll hit OK, and that is how you generate the DXF file for your CNC cutting system.